Greetings all. I pray all is well. You know my message is always changing the vibrations of this planet with love. And what conversations can we have to assist in this process? So, yesterday we were talking about emotions and being able to teach children, I suppose, and adults as well, like it's a class. Like emotions should be a class. Well, I was thinking about it, and we need to understand emotions that have information. And I'm saying that emotions have information in order to teach you something. We may not have all the verbiage that we need to express each emotion, but when you have the space of anger, just say for instance, because that's one of the common themes. Anger has like sub levels. Like there's so many things that could constitute anger, but because we don't have the vocabulary to express what these emotions are, we boil it up into anger. Like frustration, or guilt, or sorrow, or betrayal. You know what I mean? But the only thing that you can express, or the way that you're feeling, would be anger. Same with sadness. Underneath sadness could be a lot of different things. Could be loneliness. Sadness that somebody's hurt you. You know what I mean? There's so many different levels to it. But if you don't have the vocabulary for it, this is where we run into the problems of not understanding our emotions. So I say that each emotion has a lot of information that can assist us. So if we start to look at emotions like that, like they have information to teach us something about ourselves and about the way we think about it now, right? Everybody on this planet, right, feels. I mean, you can give or take, but most people feel. So all these emotions that come up, remember now, the way an emotion will express itself in me and you could be two different things, because one is for sure, you cannot feel exactly what I feel. Yet, if I was able to verbalize something to explain how I feel, you could get a close resemblance of what it may be. But you couldn't know exactly what I feel. But this is the thing, when we can't pinpoint exactly how we feel, we sometimes misdiagnose ourselves, or I'd say misdiagnose, like you're calling yourself, like you got some kind of sickness, but no, but I can't think of the word that you would use. You would describe your emotion as something else when we don't have the vocabulary to express it. And this is what we need to be taught. Because if our emotions kind of run things, and which they do, we need to have the vocabulary and the understanding to be able to express ourselves. That is one of the biggest things of miscommunication, and the problems we have in life is not being able to verbalize how we feel. And like I said, in children, when children don't know how to verbalize their emotions, it comes off as behavior. And working with special, that is one of the things, because they don't have the vocabulary to explain how they're feeling in that moment, it'll come up with some manic behaviors. But again, as I said, this comes with adults as well. So when we can start understanding that our emotions are pieces of information that assist us in learning more about ourselves, and in learning more about ourselves, the more we understand, the more we know, the better we can communicate with each other. Because the biggest thing that is the biggest problem is miscommunication. You misunderstanding what somebody said because you don't have the vocabulary to express it. And especially expressing from a point of view of how you're feeling and what this particular thing has done to you. So again, when it comes to emotions are information that have come to teach us something. And if we can see all that, if we can see our emotions as all that, we'll get more out of it, and more ways to be able to assist us in how to express ourselves even more. Like I said, even when you say you're happy, what is caused the happiness? You know what I mean? There could be a lot of different things. It could be just that, my grandbabies made me happy. Or it could be that you had a nice meal today that tasted so good. You know what I mean? There's so many different things. But being able to express yourself verbally with the understanding and the clarity, it takes you much further. So, like I said, when we understand our emotions to the extent that we need to, we will get on so much better as a collective, you know. And it doesn't matter how educated or how much you feel you know. If you don't understand your emotions, you just at the same space as the next person that doesn't understand their emotions. And it's challenging. Don't get me wrong. This is not an easy thing, especially if we never taught it. This is something that we need to grow into, with that understanding, being more aware of that understanding. And so when I say emotions are information, it's like it's like when you have a piece of software or something, and you want it to do something, you have to give it the information in order to get what you want out of it. If you don't give it the correct information, you're not going to get the correct feedback from it. So it's like your emotions are speaking so much, but if you don't understand the lingo it's talking about, you're going to I keep saying misdiagnose yourself and somebody else all the time. You know what I mean? Because sometimes anger could be a sense of betrayal or resentment, is because, you know what I mean, you've been going over hurt over and over again and you're tired of it. You know what I mean? Sometimes silence could be a underlying rage. You know what I mean? A sadness. You know, there's so many different levels to it. But we have to learn the verbiage of our emotions to be able to express it and to be able to understand it clearly in order for us to move through it. Because all these lower vibrational frequency emotions have so much information to teach us. If we could understand it coming to teach us something, we'd be able to move through it quicker. But because we don't, and we kind of internalize what we're feeling, we miss the lesson, and then we're apt to repeat it. And most of the time, when we're not understanding that our emotions have been trying to vie for our attention to get us to understand something about it, we end up replaying or revisiting that same emotion again and again and again, until we get to the point of understanding where we have more control of it than it having control over us. And that's where we really want to be, more in a space where we understand our emotions so much that we are completely in control of it, and it doesn't take us down another avenue. Because guaranteed, if you allow your emotions to, it will take you on a journey and allow your life to be a way that you don't want it to be. And that's all through not understanding your emotions and what they're trying to tell you or what they're trying to guide you through. Anyway, but like I said, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to do some research about this, because I think it is very important to understand and be able to verbalize this. I think it's very, very important. So I'm going to look into it. Anyway, we love you and we love me too. All right, you take care.